Take a deep breath, Raiders tormentor. A potential trade is on the radar and could completely change the offensive rumors for 2025. The front office doesn't want to waste time and knows this could be the move that separates a runaway from a true contender. The Las Vegas Raiders are on a journey, and one of the main areas they need to strengthen is the wide receiver position. The team has already made moves in the draft, but will the promising newcomers be enough to boost the team's offense in the 2025 season? Expectations are high, but the reality is that relying entirely on young, inexperienced players can be risky in a team that's looking to immediately return to the top. Brock Bowers is a name that's been attracting attention, but is he the only talent needed? The season needs something more, and that's where Jennings comes in. The San Francisco 49ers wide receiver has been consistently underrated, but he's a player who has remained healthy amid injuries and underwhelming performances. Even so, he nearly broke the 1,000-yard mark last season, an impressive feat, especially considering the circumstances. Jennings may not have the star status of Brandon Ayuk, but for the Raiders, he could be the perfect WR2 to round out a receiving core that still needs consistency and experience. Jacoby Myers may be a bit more prominent, but the Raiders' wide receiver position lacks balance, and Jennings brings that to the table. His experience, combined with his ability to stay healthy and produce efficiently, would make a significant difference. Now, a big question. Could Jennings be the reinforcement the Raiders so desperately need? A trade would be feasible, especially with reasonable draft capital. The timing could, for example, involve a fourth-round pick and even Trey Tucker. This trade would be a chance to strengthen the receiving core, bringing in not only talent, but also a player with enough experience to contribute immediately. Jennings' salary is also attractive. He's reasonably priced compared to other wide receivers of a similar caliber. This means the Raiders could acquire him without making a significant dent in the team's salary cap, which would be crucial for ensuring continuity of supervision without compromising financial flexibility. And best of all, Jennings wouldn't be competing with other big names like Ayuk or Deebo Samuel, which could allow him to have a more prominent and focused role in Las Vegas. If the Raiders are truly looking for a wide receiver who combines experience, consistency, and value, Jennings seems like the smartest choice. He has everything the times require: production, playing experience, and a chance to further develop in an environment that will require his skill. Furthermore, his addition would be a huge boost for Josh McDaniels and the Raiders to the Raiders' success in 2025. If this trade happens, time could very well pass in their quest to return to the playoffs and beyond. Las Vegas's oversight is ongoing, and Jennings could be the name that finally brings stability and balance to the team. But there's no point in having more offensive power if the defense still shows weakness, and that's precisely where the new reinforcement possibility comes in. The Las Vegas Raiders are already making every possible change to their roster, but the moves don't stop there. After developing the wide receiver position, it's time to focus on the defense, which also needs urgent adjustments. And if you missed that the Raiders were already on the right track, get ready, because a trade involving Cleveland Browns cornerback Greg Newsome II could be the key to solidifying one of the weakest positions on the roster. The cornerback position has been a headache for the Raiders in recent years, and now the team may be close to solving that problem with a bold move. Greg Newsome II was a first-round pick in 2021, which already shows he has great potential, even though he didn't start last season. The truth is that Newsome has never lost his shine and is ready to regain his place. The Raiders could be the perfect destination for him to shine again. With Browns cornerback Martin Emerson out for the season due to a serious Achilles injury, Newsome has a chance to regain his starting spot in Cleveland. But if the Browns can't resolve the situation with Newsome, the Raiders could seize the opportunity and bring him to Las Vegas. And best of all, the Raiders have the salary cap space to absorb a $13 million contract without compromising their financial flexibility. Now, you might be wondering, what would the cost of such a trade be? The proposal currently circulating involves a 7th-round pick in the 2027 draft, which is a low value compared to Newsome's talent. This trade would be a smart move for the Raiders, who wouldn't have to give up valuable assets, such as higher draft picks, to secure a young, promising cornerback. Furthermore, Patrick Graham's defense is desperately searching for a starting cornerback who can bring stability to the area. Since the departure of key players, the team has struggled to build a solid defense. Newsome has all the makings of that missing piece. His experience as a first-round pick and his growth potential could be exactly what the Raiders need to strengthen their secondary and provide more support. Imagine a season with Max Crosby sending the quarterback and Greg Newsome II providing coverage in the backfield. This combination could completely change Las Vegas's defensive landscape. And with Newsome being a young talent with plenty of proven experience, he has the motivation needed to be selected at the highest level. The trade would not only strengthen the defense, but also bring the Raiders a player hungry to prove himself, which could be a huge asset in their quest for a Super Bowl victory. Therefore, this trade with the Browns seems advantageous for several reasons. The low cost, Newsome's talent, the Raiders' need for a starting cornerback, and the salary cap space make this a strategic move that could transform Las Vegas's defense. If the Raiders can secure Greg Newsome second, they'll be stronger than ever for the 2025 season. The Raiders' defense will no longer be a weak point. Newsome could be a key piece in taking the team to a new level. A trade is within reach, and Las Vegas can't afford to miss this opportunity. But it's not just trades that could change the Raiders' rumor mill. A newcomer is already showing he can transform the offense. As the Las Vegas Raiders prepare for their final preseason game against the Arizona Cardinals, a new star is beginning to shine, Ashton Jeanty. And no, we're not talking about just another running back. Jeanty is the kind of player who's coming in to transform the dynamics of the season and completely change the way the Raiders play, both on the ground and through the air. If you thought the Raiders season would be all about Geno Smith, it's time to reconsider, because Jeanty is making a difference in ways you couldn't imagine. Jeanty isn't just an efficient runner, he's a multi-talent. The running back excels not only with the ball in his hands, but also in the passing game and pass protection. This means he can do it all. We're not talking about a player who only appears on a few plays. Ashton Jeanty is quickly becoming a key player for the Raiders, and his consistency in training camp is making it clear he has a big role to play in the 2025 season. When it comes to third down situations, which can be a nightmare for many teams, Jeanty has proven himself more than capable of making a difference. A clear example of this was when he ran for a first down against the San Francisco 49ers, something the Raiders desperately need to maintain possession and control the tempo. Jeanty could be key to improving these decisive plays, something the team has been lacking for some time, and this is where he can shine even more in pressure situations. Jeanty's specificity is a weapon that cannot be ignored. He isn't limited to a single role, which makes him even more valuable. Whether on the ground or in the air, he can be the kind of player who changes the game at any moment. And with Chip Kelly at the helm, adjusting his game to maximize Jeanty's potential, the sky's the limit for what he can achieve. Optimizing his playmaking could be the key to a successful season for the Raiders. And what else is happening with the Raiders? The roster's growth is far from stopping. In addition to Jeanty's new talent, the Raiders are seeking more experience in their wide receiver corps and are also considering a trade with the Cleveland Browns to strengthen their defense, specifically with Greg Newsome II. These changes are just the beginning. The moves are shaping the team's future, and with Jeanty as a key player, things could get much more interesting. The 2025 season will be a turning point for the Raiders, and with every game and every decision, the weather is shaping up to something big. The additions of Newsome, the need for experienced WR, and of course, the arrival of Jeanty could be the elements that make the difference in taking the Raiders to the playoffs and beyond. With all this happening, the question now is, will the Raiders get the trades and signings right? The next few months will be decisive. The Raiders' future is being written now. They have the talent, experience, and key players to shine in 2025. Jeanty is just the beginning of this journey, but he's already proven he can be the engine that drives success over time. It remains to be seen whether time will be able to connect all the dots to finally achieve what all Las Vegas fans dream of: greatness. Faced with the possibility of acquiring a wide receiver via trade, bolstering the secondary with Greg Newsome II, and fully exploiting Ashton Jeanty's skills, which of these decisions would have the greatest immediate impact on transforming the Raiders into a truly competitive team in Pete Carroll's first year? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with the latest Raiders news.